Welcome to Shut Up and Listen to Her. I am here with my lovely co-host Tiffany Kane. Hi, Tiffany.
Hello.
Look at you. Oh, I love it. There we
Oh,
go.
that's so
Perfect.
cute.
That was awesome. Um, well, it's been a week, hasn't it?
It has been a week, and I love how the drama that has been my week is inspiring today's conversation.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Well, let's fill in our listeners. If you haven't seen the posts, they brought me to tears. They made me scream. They made me so angry and frustrated. And it's hard for me to see you suffering like that, but it's also my story and many other women's story, and so it's so relatable, sadly. But share a little bit about what this week has been like for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll share. I'm going to kind of maybe work in the middle, backwards, forwards, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So, this doctor's appointment, the result of it was I left the room, slammed the door. I said, I'm done, left the room, slammed the door. My partner David was still in the room. The doctor was still in the room. Went out. Walk out into the waiting room, and I couldn't make it any farther. Like, my goal was to make it to the car before I completely lost it, but I couldn't. It was just like I sat down on a couch and sobbed my guts out, like body racking. People were coming up. Are you okay? They must have thought I got a terminal diagnosis or something, because I was sobbing. But I think it was just and I'm sure people listening can appreciate this. You deal, you deal, you deal, you deal. You're like, okay, okay, all right. It's frustrating, but I can deal, deal. And then it's just the dam breaks, and you're like, can't deal anymore. The people that are supposed to care about me have given up. The people who my health is in their hands have given up on me, and I just was sobbing. What started it was kind of silly. Like, I had made a post on Instagram of how excited I was that ChatGPT helped me write a letter to my doctor in doctor language, explaining my new symptoms, explaining labs that are abnormal that may have something to do with these symptoms, explaining my ongoing symptoms, and then saying, here are like maybe 5 next steps that I've identified might be the place to go. Can we talk about these? To basically close the loop on my care and not miss any glaring things. It was a great letter. I was so excited. I shared some of it on my Instagram. I was so excited. And I sent it in the morning on a Monday morning. By Monday at like lunchtime, her office had called me and spent about 10 minutes on the phone with me and said, okay, we want you to come in and set up an appointment for me on Tuesday. So in my head, I'm going, wow, this letter was magic. It did the job. It was speaking doctor speak. It was respectful. It was like, here are the facts, nothing emotional. And I'm like, it worked. It works. And I was so excited. And I went to this appointment so excited and so hopeful. So that's strike number 1, was going with hope.
Yeah.
Because when you go in with hope and it gets dashed, it's just
that much more. It's like it hurts that much more.
It tears you down so much more. Ends up the doctor didn't read the letter at all. And her nurse told her I had back pain and that I was coming in for back pain. So she was very willing, if I came in for back pain, to give me like medication for my back pain. Like, she was totally like, oh, so you've got back pain? And I'm like, no, I never once said back pain. So the easy thing of like giving me drugs, she would have been totally fine with. But when I said, no, it's not that, like there's something internal. I've got this like internal spasm happening. It's been happening for weeks and it's frustrating, blah, blah, blah. And I have GI issues and I can't eat dinner anymore because I get instant massive cramps and I have to go to the bathroom immediately. Like, it's run to the bathroom now. So I haven't eaten dinner in weeks. It doesn't happen at breakfast and lunch, just dinner. And, like I'm telling her, my hands, like I've got these shakes going on and I've never had that before. And I've got this, I can't handle heat anymore. And I grew up in Florida. Like, I actually love heat. I love hot weather. Like I'm kind of a hot weather person,
Oh, great.
but I can handle it. So I'm telling her all these symptoms, and she's like, "Oh, I can't help you with that. Those are all really non-specific symptoms. Have you dealt with your stress? But have you dealt with your anxiety?" She must have brought up stress, anxiety, and nervousness half a dozen times and refused anything. And when David finally said, if this was your relative having these symptoms, having this damage to the organs, having this resistant labile hypertension, what would be your next step with your relative? And she said, well, honestly, I'd tell him to get behavioral therapy. And that's when I grabbed my bag and walked out of the room. I am like, you are such A, you're a freaking liar. And B, she's saying this is all in my head. And it's so frustrating. We've talked about the anxiety issue, you and I, a lot. And I want to say two things. Anxiety is real. It is a real issue, and it does cause real physiological problems.
Absolutely.
Having anxiety, though, does not preclude other health issues going on and should not stop doctors from looking deeper into other issues. So that's one. Number two, anxiety is often a symptom of dozens and dozens of medical issues. And it's a red flag that something is wrong in your body. And so when a doctor just goes, it's anxiety, to me, that's medical malpractice. Rather than saying, maybe this is a red flag. Maybe, maybe we need to support, maybe behavioral health would support, and let's do this, but none of that happened. Whew. Okay, I've been doing a lot of talking. Go ahead, Bree. What do you want to say? And I saw Amy go, and she would have
she's
jumped out
supposed to. She would. We all would have. I would have. No, I would not have done any physical things. However, there would be tongue depressors everywhere. I'm one of those clear the table. I have a little Teresa Giudice in me. I would flip the table a little. I would be that upset. I would leave a mess. I wouldn't physically assault anyone, but I would make my exit very big. Lie. That's my answer. That's the answer I'm going to start using when I deal with doctors. I am going to lie.
What were you going to say? What did your lie?
My lie, if I was you, I would have looked at that doctor and say, I have been seeing a therapist who practices and is treating me for anxiety. And they say that I don't have anxiety, that my anxiety is related to the fact that I can't get a diagnosis. And has not lie. What else listen, you literally just said to everyone here that you think that was malpractice because she's not, regardless of what's causing the symptoms, symptoms that are serious and dangerous and they need to be addressed. Yep. These are very life-threatening. You know what I mean? Like, yep. It's just, you can't just say, go take care of your anxiety. So if I ever went back, or if I ever went to a new doctor, I would be like, well, it's probably not on my charts, but I have spent the last 90 days working with a therapist and getting, working on my stress levels and all of these different things. And I've been doing research it, ask ChatGPT what to say. I mean, why not? Mm-hmm. And it's not changing anything for me. So that has me really concerned because my other doctor or you told me that it was anxiety, but I'm dealing with that and I'm getting that treated and I still have these symptoms. So maybe it's not anxiety. What do you think?
I love that.
Lie through your teeth. I don't care. Listen, if they're going to give you a BS answer, you're going to give them BS right back. Fight fire with fire, I say.
Here's my thing, Bree. I believe in therapy. Like, therapists do wonderful things. And if And I've gone to therapy many, many, many times in my life, and it has helped me greatly. And if I thought right now that I needed to be in therapy, I absolutely would be there.
Mhm.
Like, I don't have a problem. I've taken my children to therapy. I've gone to therapy. I have no problem with that. I do meditative type of things. I'm going to a sound bath tonight. So I do things to like chill out and calm down.
Yep.
If I need to take a nap, I take a nap. Like, I do the things to like handle my mental health. So if she had said, I hear you. This is all really frustrating. I wonder if stress and anxiety might be part of this. Would you be willing to see somebody about that while we look into these other areas?
There you go.
So, having these kind of issues can be very stressful. Would you be willing to meet with somebody? Like, if she had offered a solution like that, I probably would have been like, sure, like, recommend me, I'll go, no problem. Like, if my doctor tells me to do something, I'm gonna do it. But she never offered that as a solution, right? She just said, what are you doing about it, your anxiety? How are you handling your anxiety? Have you dealt with your anxiety? She never once said, well, let me recommend, because I'm in a HMO. So to go to a medical provider, even mental health, I need a referral. Not once in all these months has she referred me to a medical health provider.
Hmm.
So that's enough to me, that's also malpractice. Okay, so you think stress and anxiety are causing these very serious issues for me, the organ damage that I am experiencing, and you haven't recommended me to go to a specialist, a therapist? Like, that's also problematic.
Exactly.
But at the same time, that can't be the only solution. There has to be other things that we're looking at and exploring. And you can't tell me in the 10, 12, 15 years of medical training that she has had that looking at 4 or 5 different symptoms or 4 or 5 different possibilities for what could be causing this, that she's done all she can do, right? Like,
Hmm.
there's books this thick and several books this thick, and they're discovering new things all the time. So for her to say, I got nothing else, there's nothing else, it must be stress, I got nothing else for you.
Just be
I just,
curious with me. Be curious and like,
right,
and if you don't know, that's okay. But let's
right.
figure. But at least acknowledge that it is more than stress. I have been meeting with someone every single week since, gosh, March maybe, to work on my mental state to help me feel empowered that I can do different in my life and handle all of the stuff. And it's not, it's helping my mental state, and it's helping me, be more proactive with certain things. But is it changing my like physical being? No. When it comes to what's wrong with me, it's
Right.
not solving that problem, because there is something besides stress. Because I do sound a little angry today, and I am angry because I'm angry with the entire United States at this point in time. And so a lot of that anger, and I will say it, I don't want to use this as a political place, but I literally almost cried when I saw history being bulldozed this
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
because I love history. I love, I remember that I went and toured Williamsburg and got to see all these things where they find this and they did that. And it is such a powerful feeling to be space that was shared by Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson, and you feel the history. It's powerful. So anyway, so I'm angry about that stuff. How do I deal with that? I see somebody once a week. It makes me feel better. I get there. And but it doesn't help.
But it hasn't got rid
Nothing.
of your water
I
weight.
still have water weight. It's still here. It's getting more and more. I feel like the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And it's like, what do you do? And so it's just not being addressed. And so, like a sucker, I am scheduling more appointments with my cardiologist, and I have to go get an ultrasound, and I have to get an echo, and all these different things. We'll go through a whole battery of tests again. And they'll be like, okay. And what I am trying to do, what my goal is that, you know, getting them to do, how do I get them to do what I want to do? Right. So I am, and it's this lying. I will lie. I will do whatever. I will do the things that I can do, and I will lie about the things that I can't get done. And I do not care anymore because I have been upfront, honest, tried, done, my butt off, and it's not working. And y'all aren't helping me. So now I'm going to do what I have to do because I want to live another 20, 30 years. Right. I want to be around. I want to do these things. And right now, I'm not going to be. If this continues, I will be lucky if I see 2027. That's how I feel. It is that serious. It is that desperate. It is that important. And that feeling that I have I feel like my life is in jeopardy. I just want the doctor to feel that way too.
Yeah.
I want them
Just a
to
little
feel that way
empathy,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Like, this really sucks. This really
Empathy.
stinks. It must be really scary.
Right. I'm dying. If you know, and you know why I like ER doctors? Because they don't care about any of the stuff. Their job is to make you okay when you walk in with an emergency, they're gonna
So you don't die.
So you don't die on their watch. And I want that same kind of mentality when I come in to see my doctor, because I feel like when I go in to see him, it's an emergency for me. And I am in a serious, precarious health position right now. And funny fact, I met with a doctor, an internist. She was in charge of all of my stuff at Mayo. And I told her I am on, and this was last year, but mind you, I am on the bubble of going to the emergency room because I don't feel like I'm okay. And you know what she told me? I don't want you to do that because they're going to run some tests on you and it's probably going to damage you more. Like doing a CT with contrast. So contrast is when they put it, they go through an IV.
No, tell it in case somebody's listening that doesn't know.
For anyone that doesn't know, if they do contrast on like MRIs and CTs, it's so they get a better image of what they're looking for, right? So it goes,
I have a good story about that too.
And it's extremely, extremely hard on your kidneys. And it can last for a very long time. It does a lot of damage. And so, your kidneys don't repair. My numbers are coming up on my kidneys, but they were suppressed by the contrast, but not severely damaged because I hadn't had apparently enough to really do damage, but it is a concern. So she's even telling me, hey, don't go to the ER if you're not feeling well. You should make an appointment with us.
Like, okay, but what are you doing?
Not doing anything for me.
I just met with a urologist from UC Irvine Medical Center, and it's a teaching hospital, a research hospital, and I'll tell you why I met with him in a minute. But anyway, I asked that question because I'm going to be getting care through them, and they're going to be running a whole bunch of I'm going to be getting a bunch of scans with contrast, and I said, well, my kidneys, I do have an issue with that. And he's like, look, people say this damages your kidneys, but if you drink a lot of water beforehand and you drink a lot of water after, it gets flushed right out. The only time it damages your kidneys is if your kidneys are on their last leg and they can't filter it out. And he's a researcher and, done fellowship and does surgery on kidneys all the time, transplants and all of this stuff. Like, he knows kidneys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Because I've always been told anytime you get something with contrast, you're damaging your kidneys. He's like, no, that's a fallacy. And it's something.
That's what they say at Mayo Clinic. Sorry, Mayo. Sue me. That's what you told me. It's recorded.
It's something they use so that they don't have to run a scan.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, the amount of material you're introduced to in that one scan, you get introduced to more than that in your everyday.
In
So
a
I
cup
was
of
like,
coffee? Probably.
yeah. And like the radiation from the sun and the this and that, like our body's
Mhm.
constantly dealing with
All that all that crud.
all of that
So
stuff.
she
Yeah.
just wanted me to go back there to get more stuff so that I could
Hmm.
run my bill up down there and not get seen by someone up here, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
Now, if you're not drinking water and it's sitting in your system and your kidneys can't filter it, yeah, that's an issue.
yeah.
But if
I have
you're
a
able
lot
to
of water in me.
filter it through, you got water, girl.
Yeah,
You
a
got
lot of
water.
water. Don't need any more water. Okay, so it's so devastating, and you do hit your last, like
Yeah.
you have nothing left in you. And when I saw when you were saying you were sobbing, I felt it. I
Mm.
could feel it within myself because I know that feeling. You know, and it just it's an overwhelming feeling of hopelessness
Hmm.
and darkness and sadness. And when you are fighting for your life,
Hmm.
which I do believe is what we are doing, instead of being in a crash on the side of the where people can see that it is a catastrophic injury and things are horrible and they can look and see what it is. We walk around and people are like, but you look fine.
Hmm.
There's not, you don't have a cast, you're not bleeding, you're not, you know what I mean? There's nothing outwardly appearing to anyone, so they don't see you. But inside, what we feel and what goes through our brain is we are dying.
Hmm.
And that's not the stress and anxiety. That is because no one is helping. So
Yeah.
we are screaming
Hmm.
for help. You wrote a letter screaming for help. You asked a question screaming for help, and they are ignoring you. So my response to somebody in the chat that was responding to your video was, or I was actually just writing this. I was so angry and frustrated when I heard what happened to you. I was just like, "Oh my gosh." I just immediately texted you and then I commented and I was like, it's like dying of thirst and having a doctor walk up to you and say, I don't have any water, but I got some hairspray. You want some hairspray?" Like, you know what I mean? It was like that opposite to me.
Yeah.
Like they don't care that it's just that not caring. And not all doctors are like that,
No, they're
but we
not.
don't have enough that will take up the torch and carry it for you or walk beside you or and use
Hmm.
their expertise to help. So what do we
Yeah.
do, like when we've hit that breaking point? Is it okay to walk out? Can we just like slam the door? Is it, I mean, I thought what you did was extremely appropriate. The part that got me was that no, that like the doctor, no one came out, like her nurse at least should have come out and addressed it, or somebody. And they were
Yeah.
just like,
No.
yeah, Dave was just like, all right, let's go. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I mean?
mean,
Like,
David came out. He was a sweetheart. David's my partner, for those of you that don't know. He came out and he's like rubbing my back. He handled it well. Like if he had been like, "You're causing a scene, stop, let's just get out to the car." Like if he had done any of that, like it would have made it worse. But all he did was sat next to me and just rubbed my back. That's it. Like he didn't say anything. He didn't do anything, just kind of rubbed my back. And then when people came up, "Is she okay? Is she okay? Can I help? Can I do anything?" He just kind of sent them on their merry way so I could just feel my feelings.
mm-hmm.
And I feel like you need people like that in your life. Whether it's a
You,
partner, whether it's a friend, whether it's a relative, you need somebody who's just going to be there and rub your back and say, "Feel your feelings, do your thing, I'm here for you," and then push the people away that you don't need in your space, right? In a very kind way. So that's one thing is, have your people, have your breeze in the world that send you a message of like, "Oh my God." I had lots of people send me messages that were just so sweet. And that's hopeful. That's affirming. That's important that you have those people so that you don't feel crazy, because this gaslighting makes you feel crazy. You
yes, it
truly
does.
start questioning yourself. Well, am I creating these issues? Are all my issues stress? Is it blah blah blah? So that's one thing. The other thing is, and I have a hard time with this because I kind of take everything personally, but don't take it personally. Even Kim Kardashian was told they found an aneurysm on her, right? Her doctor found an aneurysm. She was told her aneurysm was from stress. And aneurysms are not caused by stress. Like a doctor, just watched a doctor debunk it. She's like, no, aneurysms are not caused by stress. Now, the rupture of an aneurysm could be caused by your blood pressure raising from stress. Okay. Ruptures could happen from that. But Kim Kardashian did not cause her aneurysm from stress. An aneurysm is caused by problems with your veins. Like there's something wrong with the vein. And 1 in 50 people have those issues. Okay. So even Kim Kardashian, who has more money than God and has probably the best medical care and her own, like she has a concierge doctor who probably comes to her house, was told that her aneurysm was caused by her stress. So I think we also can't take it personally that somebody's saying, oh, you caused your problem from stress. They're not making a personal statement against us specifically. That's just their go-to. That's kind of their way of like, I don't know. But instead of saying, I don't know what caused it, saying, stress, let me blame it on you. It's a blame the victim kind of thing, blame the patient kind of thing. Let me put it back on you. And that's kind of a go-to. And it's unfortunate. I think it's very, very unfortunate. And if there's anything I could change about the medical system, it would be that. And then, well, I think those are my two big things of, know that it's not personal against you and know that, and get those people in your corner that are there for you and let you know, no, you're not crazy. You might be crazy in some things because I am, but you're not crazy about this. This isn't all in your head.
So this is, and so one of the things that we talked about was creating a panel using ChatGPT, finding some ways to respond and to get, to find the care that we need because we are in a position where we feel our life is at stake in this matter. So one of the things I love about this is I can ask my panel anything. So I say to a ChatGPT in this discussion, it's time to ask the panel. So I literally just ask the panel to respond that if the doctor says that everything is caused by stress, how do I respond to my cardiologist or my primary that it is their gaslighting that is causing my stress? Because, if I've got a lot of stress and I need to get the stress away, what about the fact that you're probably causing it? And here's what they said. Actually, my stress comes from not being listened to.
Oh.
And I understand stress can affect the body, but the real stress here is feeling unheard while my symptoms continue.
Oh my God.
I think we need to start bringing a little cheat sheet with us so we can throw it back in their face and say, funny thing, my blood pressure didn't, so you can tell it's got my snark in it. Funny thing, my blood pressure didn't spike until after I had to fight to be taken seriously. If stress caused this, then congratulations. You just diagnosed yourself as the source. That's my favorite one. So sometimes we can use humor. It helps us feel better while we throw a little shade, because I think throwing shades listen, these doctors that are the ones that are treating you the way they're treating you are throwing shade. She's throwing shade. She doesn't know. She's doing all the stuff, gaslighting, right? So let's
her big sigh. I was like, seriously, did you just do a big sigh?
And that's when these kinds of, and so it's hard to come up on the spot because you're completely overwhelmed and stuff like that. But we can write a little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
So we can bring it with us and we can be like, we used to write notes on our hands because we didn't have phones. So before we had phones, ladies and gentlemen, we would write crap on our hands with pen. So we'd remember it, right? You need my phone number? Let me write it on my hand. Now we put it in our phone. It's still in our hand, right? It's just now it doesn't leave an imprint forever. We have to wash it off later. Yes. Congratulations, you just diagnosed yourself as the source. I would love to see what she said to that.
Oh my God, I love that.
We have to find humor and laugh, and because the stress is coming,
Mm-hmm.
the call is coming from inside the house.
Yep.
So we have to be able to like find a way to get through it. And I think it also throws it back to them. Okay, now respond to me.
Right.
Now what have you got? Because that's not going to work.
Right.
Nope. It's hard to keep our temper. It's hard
So
to
hard.
when and especially with the setup, because the setup was somebody read your letter. Somebody read your letter, but didn't tell the doctor any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they were hoping, maybe there's a good soul in amongst her team that is trying to help you. That's what instigated the call to you to get you to come in. Like, if they, and maybe they did, maybe they knew if they said to your doctor, because I always think there's more to the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they knew if they said to the doctor, well, Tiffany wrote this letter and she's got all these things she wants to talk to you about. And the gal or the guy or whoever it was like, I'm just going to tell the doctor she's got back pain. Because she kind of does. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, that very well could be it. That very well could be it. Yeah.
And maybe maybe if I could just get her in and they can talk about it. But what they didn't anticipate was the fact that would set you up for a bigger fall when the doctor was so dismissive, throw some pills at you. How many does she need? I don't know. Throw that and see how many she catches. That's how many she needs. Right. Kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to write a prescription and be like, just try this.
Yeah.
How many times they tried to put my daughter on an inhaler? She had a cough. She just had bronchitis. Well, she needs an inhaler. No, she doesn't. Like, stop. I'm not going to get her on an inhaler for the rest of her life at age 9. Like, I'll just keep her in bed a few more days and make some chicken soup, and hopefully she gets over it because you're no help. So, sarcasm. I like snarky. I think, we take a page out of Bethany Frankel's book of being, putting some stuff in there, because those are the only, and I don't want to say weapons, but like those are the only tools that we could possibly use. It's slam the door, but then it feels good. It does feel good to get a lot of that out, to sob it out, but it's not how we wanted that appointment to go.
No.
But if we could take some of that anger and resentment and hurt and pain and sorrow and disappointment and channel that into a different way to get us there. And I like snark and sarcasm. They call me the clever biatch. There is a reason for it.
Yeah.
I will tell you who I am before I even enter the room. If you know my name, the clever biatch. I am sometimes clever and always a bitch. That is what I tell people. And it is what it is. And I try to be clever about it, which is the snarkiness. But it's like, people will tell you who they are. You have to just believe them. And your doctor is telling you who she is. Is saying, I'm not going to go the extra mile for you. I am not the doctor for you, sadly. Because and I know when you're limited and you have to go within a certain, but there is one ray of hope, is that person who read your letter heard you and wants you to be seen.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was the only ray of sunshine I got out of that.
That's true. So
there's somebody that's on their game that's really was trying to help. It didn't work out. They were really hoping it did, but it didn't work out. And we just keep trying, because our health matters.
I have another ray of sunshine in all of this.
Good.
I shared my story. I got online crying, and I have never done that before.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Typically, I don't cry in public. Like, sitting there crying in the waiting room was not something I do. I typically don't cry in public, and I certainly don't share it. I'm a classic Gen Xer. Like, we deal with our trauma inside. Okay, we bottle it up. So back pain gets a doctor's attention. Yeah, right. So I shared it, which was very therapeutic for me, sharing. Now, I have a new Instagram page that I'm sharing my medical stuff on. I don't have a ton of followers, like 400 followers. Like, I literally share my story. Just, it's therapy for me. It's therapeutic for me just to get it out. That's it.
Yep.
Get a couple hundred views on my Instagram every time I share something. Not a big deal. I'm not expecting much. And it's like my very close friends that comment on my stuff, right? Like, so I got on and tears and makeup running and face swollen from crying and and I'm sharing my story. And the outpouring of love and support was incredible. And included in that outpouring was doctors who DM me and said, and by the way, this video went viral. I've never gone viral. And it's viral for me, right? Like, I'm talking like 6,000 views, which is very viral for me. I'm used to a couple hundred. So, so there's people commenting on my stuff that don't know me, I've never heard from before. And some of them are doctors, and they're DMing me and they're saying, send me your information if you're comfortable. Let me look it over. Let me see if I can help you. Let me talk to my colleagues. And they're willing to take time for this person they don't know to say, let me help you. And messaging me back and forth and giving their time. So there are beautiful, wonderful, generous doctors out there. So
Yes.
we are not poo-pooing doctors. We are not poo-pooing medical providers. Some of them are doctors. Some of them are nurses. Okay. There have been amazing people that have reached out to me and said, let me help you. Give me your information. Give me your, and of course they're like, we'll keep everything private. We'll keep this. We'll keep that. And I'm like, look, I share it online. Like, all I ask, if you get my doctor's name, don't share her name. I don't want to blast anybody.
Right.
Specifically, right? It's because
I'll
it's a
blast her
systemic.
out, but you won't.
Well, to me, it's a systemic problem more
Yes.
than it is a particular person
Absolutely.
problem.
Absolutely.
Right? If it was a particular person problem, I would be the only one complaining about this. It's not a particular person problem. It's a
That's why we
systemic.
relate to it. That's why so
Yes.
many people relate to it.
Yes. And so for me, the sharing, not only was it therapeutic for me to just talk about it, but then the love and support back was really mind-blowing and helpful and incredible. Hearing people's stories of like, oh my God, I experienced something very similar and ended up, I have cancer. And I have that, like, people have some serious stories of being medically gaslit, and they have really serious life-threatening conditions that thankfully one doctor took them seriously
Yep.
and found it before it was too late. So I'm getting all of these stories back. And so I think what I'm trying to say is we're not alone in this.
Mm-hmm.
We're not the only ones experiencing this. And if we share our story, then there's others that are like, oh my God, me too. Or, let me see if I can help you. Like, there's great people out there if we share. And, for some of us, sharing is easier than for others. A couple years ago, like, I never even shared a picture of myself on Facebook, right?
Right.
Like, or Instagram, like it was just pretty pictures of the sunset or whatever, So it's kind of new to me too in these last, maybe 5 years of like getting out there more and more. So I get it. I get how hard it can be. But definitely it's helpful. Definitely it's therapeutic. And there are definitely people out there that A, want to help you, and B, they're going through the same thing. So
I like what Amy said here. And that's why we air stuff on socials. My aunt wondered why this generation is so vocal about intimate things. This is why.
Yeah.
It's because our voices together, we need a support network. We need to have, to join hands with others who are going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not alone. As soon as I started seeing what you were going through, I was like, I got to reach out to Tiffany. We got to start talking more. We're going through we're so mirrored in so many ways of what we're suffering through. Like, we have different symptoms and different things, but same experiences right through all of this. and we are stronger together.
Yes.
I hope the world is realizing we are stronger together,
Mhm.
and we can affect change. And that's what we really want to see. We want to help change individuals who are suffering to feel not alone, to feel like others are with them and will support them and can help them find solutions. We want to share this with doctors who are the doctors that do care, that are
Mhm.
out there, that we just have a hard time finding you because there's a lot of the bad apples out there, right? We're
Mhm.
looking for that one good doctor. And so, that's going to listen, and really seriously listen and help us because we feel like our life is in jeopardy
Yeah.
because of our symptoms. And so, and I think, we also want to support others who are supporting the people. I know, and I haven't even talked to Tiffany about this, but I have someone who is a caregiver for someone that is suffering through a lot. And I want to bring her on as a guest and discuss how we can support the caregivers,
Yeah.
partners, spouses, the kids, the whatever it is. When you have a loved one that's suffering with this, how do you be more supportive, or how do you support? I mean, maybe not be more, but like what you do to support, or what can
Yeah.
you do as a friend to support someone that's going through all of this craziness?
I
Because
love that. I think
I
that's a
think
great conversation.
I think it's a great conversation, and she
Mhm.
was I have a women's networking group um that meets every Thursday afternoon, and it's a very small group, and we share what we're doing, and then we throw questions around, just to kind of see how's everybody dealing with different things that are happening as a woman and business and all these other things, and our health and being a parent or being a grandparent or empty nester or whatever it is in our lives. And so um, I speak about this podcast, and she was very moved. And she has a husband who is suffering through some serious medical things. And we got on a topic of end of life
Mm.
and how what his choices are, and how it was just a really interesting conversation, and to hear it from someone that is that support.
Yeah.
It was so important, so we want to discuss that. It'll be coming up soon. The other thing that we've decided is that this is so much therapy for us that we just want to keep going. This was supposed to be a 6 episode run, and we would be wrapping things up, I believe, today, but we love it and we need it. um, and we need you guys, and we hope
Yep.
that we support all of you and what you are doing.
It
Um,
might be an every other week thing, depending on, we
our
both have
schedules are
really busy
busy,
schedules, but we're
and the
going to keep it
holidays
going.
and the
Yeah.
holidays and everything else that are coming up. But we will be back. We're going to keep going. I wanted to leave you guys and just discuss at the end. There's a few statistics that are out there. And if you go to my YouTube channel and you look in the description, I have actually linked and referenced all of these already. They're already in there. But 1 in 5 women say they've had their symptoms ignored or dismissed by a doctor, compared to only 1 in 10 in men. That's from Duke Health.
Dang.
Yeah. Over 50% of women believe gender discrimination in healthcare is a serious issue impacting their quality of care. That's also from Duke Health. Women's pain is systematically underrated
Yeah.
or systemically, I don't know what that is, underrated and undertreated.
Mhm.
Research shows they are less likely to receive pain medication or adequate evaluation compared to men with the very same symptoms.
I mean, the
That's from,
fact that we have to get an IUD without any pain help, like
yeah,
right there.
I
Hello.
know. That's from Harvard Women's Health Watch. Women's health concerns are more likely to be attributed to stress, anxiety, or emotional issues.
Because we're
Even
such emotional
we
creatures.
are.
These can't be real issues. We must be making them up. We are hypochondriacs.
That's
How could
right.
it be this bad when a man gets a cold and the world is ending?
Exactly.
But we manage to keep the household going while we're throwing up. Like,
Yes. Yes. And that's even when symptoms match those of male patients who receive a physical diagnosis.
Mm.
That's from National Geographic's Women's Health Concerns. And then women who experience medical gaslighting report delayed diagnosis, increased anxiety, and worsened health outcomes due to repeated dismissal of their symptoms. That's from Frontiers in Public Health. Many women report having to visit multiple doctors before receiving an accurate diagnosis.
I'm
So,
sending all of these facts to my doctor.
yeah, yeah,
I'm writing her another letter that she won't read.
that's right. Duke Health, Harvard Women's Health Watch, National Geographic, Frontiers in Public Health. That's a really good one, by the way. And the American Medical Women's Association. So all of those, I've got those all referenced. They're in the description of video. You can go check them out, go read what they're saying. We are going to keep looking into what we can do to make our health more of a priority for the doctors we are seeing and to get the answers that we are looking for. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you. I think you are so brave and so powerful for what you are doing and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and sharing what you do. And I will always be the bear that is standing behind you, ready to support and defend anything that you do. But we are struggling and we are going through this together, and we are going to affect change, not just for ourselves, but for women, I hope. To find the right, we're going to look for the right doctors, and we're going to shout them out and let you know where to go once we find them. And it's going to be a fun ride. So stay with us. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate you so much. I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging out with us too, and all the comments. We'll see you next time. Bye.